and we are live.
Guitar, lady, guitar. Hey, this isn't goddamn Guitar Lady. This is Guitar Safari. Guitar Safari. It's time.
That may be the best one yet.
Yeah, well, thank God I've heard that we may be coming down the pike. We might have a better theme song that could be like a full-time thing, because the stress of making this each week is giving me even more gray hairs in my beard. So,
exactly. Well, welcome to Guitar Safari, everybody. I am Charles. That is Seth, and that guy is Ben Coombs.
What's up, everybody? I got my Safari shirt on, and yes, I agree. I've done theme songs before. See? All the gray.
all gray.
Love it. Love it. Okay, so we've got some folks in the chat, and welcome to our Father's Day show. We'll be talking about gear you got from your dad or gear your dad was involved with, and that whole kind of thing today. First in our stream today was Herb from Fireside Studios, followed up by Cushman NYC, GTR 1952.
What's up, Gary?
Ryan Hall.
What's up, Ryan?
And Martin from L&M Guitar Corner. Welcome. And of course, we have Ferd Burfel.
Ferd Burfel
got some weather the other night, I think.
Uh-oh.
And let's see.
Well, I don't have his number to text, Charles, when that happened.
No, I don't think his was as bad, but I think he got some thunderstorms. Gear Junkie 35.
Yes.
What's up, Gear Junkie?
Yeah.
I want to thank Billy Baloney again for this kicktail mug.
That is awesome.
It's got all the effect pedals on it. But the thing is, it's only on one side, Charles, but that's okay because I'm left-handed, so I get to see the pedals when I drink my tea.
Hey, that's priorities.
Right?
Yes.
I'm just saying. It's going down fast. Sorry, folks.
My coffee cup is also left-handed.
There you go. But you can see I also drink mine left-handed too. So,
well, which is the right way.
That's why when you get a Charles 75 mug, you get a Charles 75N mug, it's got a logo on both sides.
Well, there you go. You got to advertise.
All right, well, welcome everybody.
Paul McNary and the Cats. Just saying.
Oh, he did sneak in there. Well, welcome, Paul. And we got Wayne McConnell sneaking in as well.
And wow, that guy had no mufflers on that exhaust. Anyways, yes.
Not at all.
Running out.
And the interesting thing about your studio is it's down in the basement, right?
It is.
So you would, so it's still going to come through the wall and underground.
Well, there is a window right here, 2 by, I don't know, that's 2 by 5?
Yeah.
3 by 5, 3 by 6. I don't know. It's big, is what I'm saying. There's one there and there's one over there. They're covered up so you don't have all the light coming in. Otherwise, it just looks like I'm in a plain white room, and that's not the illusion of being a rock star.
No, not at all. Not at all. But still.
But and I have the major highway.
That makes it easier to get back out on the road.
It does. Yep. There's an exit right down there, which allows me to go westbound real fast.
It's funny, Ben. If I look outside from my workshop here in Sausalito, California, I can look up the hill and I can see Highway 101, which is one of our most busy highways. So something about being by a highway and having a guitar studio, it makes you people can get to you easier.
Well, this is the thing. Yes, for the throngs of people that show up on a daily basis. Security's holding them at bay while I'm doing this with you guys on.
I know. I'm sure.
Absolutely have to love it. Absolutely have to love it. All right, so it's Father's Day, and so
it is. Happy Father's Day to all the fathers. And if you're not a father, but you're a certain age and you lead a certain lifestyle, you might want to check on that. Mark's gas Jason doesn't know what I'm talking about at all.
Mm-hmm. Oh boy,
Mark's like, what did I walk into?
Yeah, he's like, what did I do? What did I do? Oh, I was going to say something, but that comment kind of took me by surprise.
Well, it took me. I didn't think it was going to come out.
Well, I started thinking about all right, if you run into somebody that looks a lot like me that's 22 years old, just, I don't know, I might not even ask. Like, hey, are you succeeding in life? Good, all right.
But no,
Charles is a dad, right?
I am a dad. My son is 20, about ready to turn 21 in October.
Eats like a horse.
So in that he does. He ate a whole cow the other day, and
Well, in Texas.
But it's one of those things. And so he is off working today, and he says to me as I drop him off, he's like, I'm going to take you out to dinner tonight. It's like, can't do that tonight because we are rapidly cleaning the house because my brother is coming like tomorrow. And so it's a big deal because he's driving all the way from Connecticut. So he'll probably arrive tomorrow evening.
Nice.
Ryan, welcome to the show. Appreciate you coming in and appreciate everybody spending part of their Father's Day with us.
Seth down.
We have lost a Seth.
Hope it's not an earthquake.
But
I have limited knowledge of California, Charles. I'm like, I don't know. What would cause you to get offline? I don't know. Earthquake? What's up, Martian Murray?
Martian Murray. And thank you so much for correcting me on that pronunciation because I was really reading it a completely different way.
You left out the I.
That I was.
Okay, you only missed one letter, but sometimes one letter can mean a lot in life.
Yes. It makes a big difference.
Yeah.
Oh, there we have a returner.
Sweet.
Of course, it is all white screen, so there we go. There he is.
We'll see.
And so I'm going to move people around again.
What the hell?
There's
you got the robot voice.
There was no audio. So
jump out and jump back in on that
one. I would go back and come out and go back out and come back in again.
Plus, I hear a record playing in the background. How did he do that for audio? I'd like to know that filter.
That is pretty cool, actually.
It was looping. It was at the end of the radio.
You could hear it. It's like the neat.
How many of us woken up to that sound after a night of partying?
Of course.
Head right next to the speaker.
I think we need to go right to the chat on this one, right? Because, okay, so dad gear. It's Father's Day. Okay, guys in the chat, what kind of gear have you gotten from your dad? It could be something that was your dad's and he handed down to you. It could be something that your dad purchased for you.
And it doesn't have to be music gear necessarily, especially with the hand-me-downs.
That's
stuff.
Right.
I'm just saying,
like
if your dad was a carpenter, maybe he passed along some amazing tools. I don't know. I wasn't there. I don't know.
Exactly. And I like that idea. What are the things that your dad has passed down to you?
Nice. Cushman got a Les Paul copy from his dad when he was 16.
Oh, very sweet. Very
Very
sweet.
Cool.
And Martian Murray got a knife.
Okay.
So Ryan's is interesting. This is absolutely
whiskeys count, Martin.
Yes, whiskeys always count. That is huge.
Yep. I don't know if I was necessarily given stuff as opposed to inherited, Charles. Because the way that kind of worked, all right. There comes a time in life when you're growing up as a male that if there's an extra room in the house on the ground floor or sub-ground floor, a fellow wants to move out of the bedroom into, away. And so the summer after 8th grade, I want to say, I was getting into music, I decided, okay, I'm going to start high school. I'm going to start playing an instrument. And finally, my dad took me seriously enough because I'd say, hey, Dad, I want a guitar. No. Hey, Dad, I want a guitar. No. It's like that little dog on the Looney Tunes. Can I get a guitar? No. Can I get a guitar? No. Can I get it? Finally, it's like, all right. Ooh, okay. And part of that was during the summer, I had moved from my bedroom upstairs to, I took over what was his music room, basically, Charles, is what I'm saying. Mm-hmm. And so when I was moving out junk, because it was also used as a storage room type thing, I left all of his music gear as decoration, right? It fills in the space. So Dad had basically stopped playing by that point, stopped playing professionally at the very least, but still noodled once in a while. But I just kept the gear in there, and then I started on bass. And after playing that for a few months, learning bass by yourself is boring and it sucks. I'm just saying. Boom, boom, boom. I'm like, no, I want to play some AC/DC songs and Kiss songs, and stuff like that. And so I said, Dad, I want to switch from guitar to bass to guitar. He's like, all right. I'm like, well, I want a guitar. Well, his idea was buy something with a name on it, because if you got bored after 3 weeks, like you figured you would, you could sell it for what you paid for. Buy something used with either a logo that starts with an F or a G, dealer's choice.
There you go.
And then go from there. But in the meantime, while I searched for a guitar to play with his approval, he said, just use my stuff. All right. So that turned into, I just never gave it back. And then he's like, no, you keep it. You're playing music, especially that kind of was only solidified, I'd say, in the last 10 years, Charles, because traditionally, for those who don't know, my father owned 2 guitars. It was kind of unofficial that I would get one when he passes and my sister would get one. Well, I'm like, no, nope. She don't play, so she don't get. So, and then when I got back into playing as a profession about 10 years ago, we'll say, Dad's just like, yeah, my gear is your gear, essentially.
That's great. And for those in the chat, thank you for joining us. And so we're talking about gear you've gotten from your dad, and it doesn't have to be music gear; it can be any kind of gear at all, right? Whether
it be a new phone,
it could. I'm sorry.
Could it be a new phone?
It could be a new phone.
So your freaking internet doesn't drop off when you're trying to do Guitar Safari.
That is definitely a good idea.
We should say, if you're a new viewer too, please subscribe to Charles. Oh, wait, point that
and please subscribe to me. Please subscribe to Ben if you're not already. I don't know how you could not be.
What's up, Billy? Thanks again for the mug.
And go ahead and subscribe to Seth, definitely. So we do have some cool stuff in the chat already. And so we did answer Martin's questions. Yes, whiskey does count. And Ferd says many woodworking tools over the years. Then he inherited his wood shop when he passed. So lots of stuff. And Ryan comes back and clarifies, says, 8 kids, so you kind of have to fend for yourself because there isn't a lot left over.
There we go. Yep.
And GTR 1952 got the initials GTR. So
there we go.
Ryan Hall said his dad passed down electric tools and getting shocked.
So he was passed along non-grounded electric tools, is what I'm hearing.
That's what I'm hearing too. Wayne McConnell got a worn-out Phillips screwdriver he wouldn't throw away or stop using. It drove me nuts. He loved it, but he loves it and he holds on to it.
Yeah.
And Martin says he didn't get any gear that he can remember. However, he did inherit a guitar from his grandfather on his mother's side. So we're counting that. And of course, we had blackjack guitar that snuck in. And Ferd Purple's, I'm sorry, didn't mean to cut you off there.
I was saying something, buddy.
There you go. And Ferd Burfel says his folks bought him his first guitar for Christmas when he was 13.
Oh, nice.
And Billy Baloney, welcome to the chat. He says Billy's just stopping by to say Happy Father's Day to all the dads out there.
Right on.
And Blackjack is saying hello to Seth.
Good morning to Hit Metalworks.
Yeah, welcome Hit Metalworks. We certainly appreciate you coming in. So
guaranteed he's drinking coffee right about now.
I bet he is.
Along with octopus ears. All the West Coasters are waking up.
Yeah. They got little Folgers in the cup, I would imagine.
Possibly a little more. It's a Sunday morning.
That's true. Could have a shot of some of that whiskey.
Then again, I don't know. Somehow, Charles, I got home last night and I was in bed within an hour of getting home from a concert last night. I had such a bad headache that I had something to eat and I'm out.
Yeah, we all have those moments.
Too many screams.
A lot of screaming and slowly raising the PA system throughout the set to the point where I'm like, it wasn't this loud 20 minutes ago. Why? Stop. Just stop, And yeah, it's pretty bad when you get a headache at the base of your skull. That's not good. I'm like, how is that possible?
Is that this?
I think so. Yeah, but it wasn't like I'm thinking I'm seated. I think I was like 10th row, so it's not like I'm looking straight up at the stage or anything. But I don't know. What's up, Sean Hockey?
We have an interesting update from Ryan Hall. He says his sister is 3 years older than him, and so she got the Gibson J45, the only guitar Dad had.
And I see Ryan Hall says the grounding tools came after I got in the IBEW school, and I'm gonna assume IBEW is the International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers. Am I right, Ryan Hall? Because if I did, I totally pulled that out of my ass, Charles. I'm just saying.
I'm impressed. I'm impressed because I wasn't there. Octopus Ears, welcome. He's wishing everyone a happy Father's Day. We'll welcome you into the chat there.
I've just read over the years that Ryan's electrocuted himself several times, so I assume he was an electrician in life. Otherwise, just bad luck.
So, of course, Hip, we're so glad you're here. And Sean Hockley, hello. I know Ben already said hello to you, but I'm going to give it to you as well. All right, so I think we are now officially caught up with the chat.
I was right.
Nice.
Hey,
I have to send happy Father's Day to Buxton, Maine, to my dad in Maine, who's still alive, my birth father, Buddy Pressley. He's sitting at the farmhouse in Maine, and happy Father's Day to him. He gave me my first electric guitar, my Flying V, a white Flying V. If you watch some of my videos, it's and my Gorilla amplifier. And so he's responsible for setting me initially on this crazy guitar journey.
Yeah.
I don't have any of his shit, though. I need to go take some of his stuff when he's not looking.
Well, my dad was not a musician at all, but I did inherit quite a few tools from him. A really awesome tie clip, and a bunch of tools that he made. Like, for example, like when you go to pull up your kitchen, your oven rack, and you don't want to burn yourself.
Yeah,
he made me a reaching tool.
Ooh,
little handle. Hooks on it. Yeah, pull it out, and then it's got a slot. You can push it back in. So
nice.
So a bunch of stuff like that.
Life skills tools.
Skills tools. You gotta love it.
People don't know this, that Charles could probably have a cooking channel because he cooks up some amazing stuff for his family and sends me pictures, and I'm like, dude, I am a vegetarian, but it does look amazing.
I, who am not a vegetarian, really enjoy it. Until he throws mushrooms all over the stuff. He's like, okay, minus the fungus. What do you think? I was like, yes. Remove the fungus, and I'm good.
I've been trying to instigate some stuff there, yeah.
You could try. But, the way I work, Charles, if there's fungus on my food, I'm throwing it out. Because it's got fungus on it.
Might be better.
I am a fun guy. I don't eat the fungi. Right? Sure. This is right off the rails. Perfect.
This is perfect. We're 20 minutes.
Ben, did you already show off your dad's telly? Is it there?
Oh, it's around. No, I haven't shown it off. Would you like to see it? Sure.
Absolutely. Love to. I mean, I've seen you play it.
My father called it. You want to see his $300 telly?
Oh, of course. Yes, $300. I'll take
it. That's a Squire Affinity.
Okay. I just Venmo'd you 300, and I sent 350, Ben, because
Oh, there we go. So she is a 1967 Fender.
Can you give him full screen?
I think we could do that. Let's hold on here.
Yeah,
trying to get the.
This is rockstar status here. There we go.
There we go. Honest playing wear. Clearly, he was not a lead player. Clearly. Because all that has is patina. But then you get down into, the key of A. and then cowboy chords. All the cowboy chords. Except for F. Not a lot of F. Or when he played an F, he didn't do the root note. Clearly. That's the bass player's job. She's a black logo because of the CBS era.
Very nice.
And, a lot of wear on the back of the neck as well. So you grip right onto her. And EMG pickups. Yeah, that's right. EMG pickups because, my father didn't care for the blatant 60 cycle hum you got out of a bad wired bar with a 2-prong outlet amplifier made by Fender as well, cranked and clean. So he heard about these EMGs and he went across the border to Syracuse, New York, and snagged on a set and brought them back here and had them installed. And that was in 1985, I want to say. I think the frets have been replaced once. The nut's been replaced 2 or 3 times. Which was interesting. I was watching a thing yesterday, Charles. George Gruen said nuts shouldn't wear out.
Oh,
the only time they need to be replaced is because somebody messed with them and screwed up the slots. I disagree, George Gruen. Because first of all, you're assuming the factory cut this correctly in the first place, which they didn't. Which is why idiots like me have to go in and use a buzzsaw and get in there and ruin it even further because it was already ruined. Also, fun fact: as strings vibrate, they will wear through the nut material. And I don't care what it's made of. It's a nylon nut, plastic nut, bone nut. You got steel strings, steel or nickel. Either way, harder is what I'm saying. And as you tune and retune, you're even bending. What I'm saying is they wear out over time.
Oh, yeah. If your frets are going to wear out, of course your nut slots are going to wear out.
Right? And the frets got to be harder than the nut, I would think.
I would hope.
Yeah, right? These frets are worn right out because there's no fret height. You can't. I don't know. Can you? Yeah, you can kind of see. There's like.
Yeah, but I heard that's the way a fella likes it.
Well, a fella does, especially if he's got the man grip. Because no matter how hard you grip on it, you don't pull it all out of tune, is what I'm saying.
Now, there is a road trip story behind those EMGs, isn't there?
Yes. So, Syracuse, New York is, let's see, it's about an hour. You drive east for an hour is what I'm saying. Then you hang a right. And then you go over a big-ass bridge over 1,000 islands. And then you land in New York State on the other side. And then you drive south. I don't know. What is it, about an hour? 45 minutes to an hour south down an interstate of some form. And then you go to this college town known as Syracuse, New York. Go Orangemen. I don't know why they called the Orangemen with an orange as a logo. It's upstate New York. It's too fucking cold to grow oranges. But there was a dude with a music store there that had a big music store, I think. That's why how Dowd knew about him here in Ontario. And so snagged on a set. Because back in the day, whenever a new product came out, and this even went into the 90s, it would always be sold in the US for at least a year before making it into Canada. So you didn't see EMG pickups in Canada, is what I'm saying. Or at least in this neck of the woods. And because there's no inner Google to search stuff, you don't know if the music store an hour down the road has them. You don't know unless you call them. So, yeah, that's the story on that.
That is
9-volt battery tucked under the battery or under the control cover. That's where it is.
And could you show off the wear on that? Here you go.
Just a little. Just
nice.
All
making an arm carve over time.
For all you relic guys, that's what a real relic looks like.
Yeah. All the corners, all the edges. See, it's all gone. It's all gone, both sides. Yeah, and then if you strum up here, you'll see you get a bit of wear doing that too.
Yeah.
So
gotta love it.
Yeah. And you can't see it, but it's all the checking too. It's not well. You kind of see it there for a second.
Yeah, the light just has to hit it just the right way.
Yeah. Massive amount. Oh, yeah, I guess you can kind of see it down there. There we go.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Massive check. All the checking is what I'm saying. I'm surprised there's any paint on it. It hasn't just turned to dust. Was there another guitar you wanted to see, Charles, while I'm up?
Well, while you're up, if you could grab a certain acoustic.
A fella can. So, that was the thing. Back in the day, you had one of each, right? You had an electric and then you had an acoustic for jam sessions. So, this is one of Charles's favorite shaped objects in the whole wide world.
Oh, nice.
It wakes me up in the middle of the night, I tell you.
And this is, I don't know, what is that? 71, 72? Something like that. Martin, D28. Needs to be polished, clearly.
And I absolutely love the sticker story. Very nice.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That really needs to be polished. I should have polished it before the show, but it's got all the telltale signs of a 50-year-old Martin, which is the pick guard, as you can see, is lifting. I don't know. Yeah. Can we get a reflect? There it is. See.
Yeah.
So that needs to come off, but because it's just ruining the guitar staying on by the day. So of course I've left it on for years, which causes a small crack. Right there. Happens. Also, we got a nice split right through this whole unit, because that happens over time as well. I don't know if we... Nope. There. Do it the right way. Well, you knew it, this, Ben. There you go. Yeah. But still, plays, they're staying in. Oh, that's not in tune. Yeah, that's the sound of my childhood right there.
Yeah. So
exactly, Ferd. That's who's going to do the job when it needs to be done. And yes, if you look there, the decal, you can tell what the decal's covering when they do that.
Yeah, it's showing more these days.
Yeah, so you don't notice it there. Notice it there, though.
Yeah.
And that is, that here. That's where the top of your Martin guitar, Adirondack or spalted spruce, I don't know, spruce, some kind, meets, well, one of these right here.
Oh.
And that's why modern ones have all the surgical tubing that goes past the point of entry.
Yeah.
Whereas the older one, actually, I think the older one had the little lip up. That's what it was, Charles. It was just bent steel with felt over it.
Was fucking amazing. Hey, would you just let me do my thing, dude? God. Sorry, man. He was freaking out about the telly.
You promised that wouldn't happen, Seth.
I'm sorry, but the Telecaster is amazing. Try to keep that guy under wraps.
Oh, Ben, thank you for showing those off, because I mean, it just, the stories behind them are fantastic, and they're both absolutely beautiful guitars.
And because I like to throw my father under the bus on occasion, because anyone that's watched my Father's Days specials featuring my father, I say father a lot, the man has an opinion on stuff, and he's very much of the opinion, this is the right way to do things, and if you're not doing it this way, you're doing it wrong, right? And for years I heard Charles, good tone, just plug the guitar into an amp, that's it, right?
Yep.
Put away the toys, these little boxes. They're just toys to cover up your lack of talent. That's all those things are. Heard about it, Charles, right?
Yeah.
Then, so we're over at my father's best friend's place, my godfather, okay, which I'm hoping to do a video on soon. I got to go up and visit him, actually. He goes, "Hey, Dave," being my father's name. Actually, he called him Harold. They call each other Harold. Don't know why. They just do. He's like, "Hey, Harold." Like, I wished Uncle Harold a birthday last week, which my dad said, "Did you wish your Uncle Harold a birthday?" I did. Don't worry about it, Harold. Got it. Call each other Harold or Whacker. I don't know why, but Harold usually is always Harold. So He said, "Hey, Harold, I was going through a box." He said, "Oh, yeah?" He goes, "Found your old fuzz box." I'm like, "What is this, Father? You know, Mr. O, you don't need tools of the trade, blah, 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 you know." And he's like, "I don't know what you're talking about. That's not mine." He's like, "Oh, yeah, I totally remember when you got it." And I said, "Well, if you're not going to use it," I said, "what's wrong with it?" And he says, "I don't know." And it probably went into a box before I was born. So we're going to say it was in the box for the better part of 20 years at that point. Okay. Mm-hmm. And so I undo the thumb screw on the back, and they pulled the back door open. And on this hook, there was a 9-volt that looked about as furry if we had put a piece of cheese in there for 20 years, is what I'm saying. There was a lot of swelling and furriness. So a fella just pulled the lead out and just clipped it because there was no way this was coming off that.
Yeah.
And there's I don't know why it's tied in a knot at this point. That's a Lawrence thing, I think. But a fella made a long lead on it because he took it into electronics class, soldered on a new lead, and then got graded on said jobs.
There you go.
And then this thing, it's cheap. It does the thing. Hey, sis. It's got an on-off and a fuzz. Well, a volume and a fuzz. Volume, whatever to taste. But the fuzz, 1 to 9 is kind of a thing. But then that last 9 to 10 sounds like you took all the razor blades to your speakers and it's just falling apart and it's on fire. And it sounds like Neil Young, Crazy Horse. Yeah. Awesome. So
excellent.
It stopped working for a period of time. Probably because it sat on a shelf for another 20 years because I was like, I don't like fuzz, but it does a thing. So I sent it down to our good friend Lawrence at LPD Pedals. Shout out Lawrence. I'm like, can you resurrect this? And if so, if you like the circuit, I don't know, clone it, do a pedal. He goes, well, I got it working. I'm like, so you're going to clone the circuit? He goes, no. Oh my, okay. And I just recall, I don't even think there's a circuit board in here. I think it's just a bunch of floating components, soldered to each other and then hanging off the pots. So
could be.
We got that. One other piece of gear. One other piece of gear I acquired or inherited from my father. Originally, he had given me his last amp that he had gigged with, and then sold it, silver-faced Vibrolux. But I was okay with him selling it because, one, I was living in Windsor, which is across the river from Detroit, Michigan at the time. And I wasn't really playing. So I had a couple guitars with me down there, but I wasn't really playing. He had a buyer, and I said to Charles, I can't believe I said it. Sell it because the thing has no gain at all. Because all it is a master volume, and it had no gain. Like, no gain. It's one of those, unless you crank the master all the way up, that's the only way you got any gain. So I'm like, sell it. It's useless. There's no distortion to be found in that amp. Not realizing I would build a career around having pedal platform amps, because it would have been the perfect pedal platform amp. So he sold that, but he had bought it because this thing started getting a little tired. And right back here is a Baldwin Professional Custom, which is a solid state 212 amp. For those who like a certain style of music based out of Texas, of all places, that is the same model amp that Willie Nelson has been using for, I don't know, half a century at this point. That's the only amp Trigger ever plays through, is what I'm saying. And so Dad always said, hold on to that one. Even in the 80s, Charles, he's like, hold on to it, because Willie had an open thing. He would say, in interview stuff, if anyone has a Baldwin amp, reach out to a fella, because he was buying all the Baldwins, right, to put them together, to cobble together for touring usage and stuff. So Dad, that's the retirement fund for Willie. We'll just sell that to Willie. I'm like, how are we going to sell this amp to Willie Nelson? Oh, don't worry, it'll work out. Perma, it's real. It'll work its way out. Like, all right. Now that the internet exists, it's not as rare as he thought it was, but it's still a cool amp.
It's there for you, Willie.
So. It's just there in case Willie stops by to jam, is what I'm saying.
Exactly. Willie could come looking for one. It's possible.
or a Willie Nelson tribute act. That's what I'm waiting for, Charles, is I'll see a Willie tribute act, right? I'm like, you're good.
But you don't have a ball
amp. Like, I know. I'm like, hey, a fella knows another fella. Oh, yeah? Who's that fella? Myself. Ah. How much? All the money.
All the money.
Yeah.
You got to love it. So returning back to the chat for a little bit, Paul McNary says the greatest thing his dad gave him was great wisdom and a 1960 airline bass and airline combo amp.
Ooh.
Very nice. Very nice. Oh, Ben, this one's for you. Martian Marie says, I even throw away Tupperware that had fungus.
Okay.
It was a Ben Coombs. Definitely. Let's see. What else have we missed?
Ryan says he was thinking about my dad last night watching John Prine videos. They
Yeah.
did enjoy each other's company, I will say. I guess I can thank Dad for not getting on that tour bus in 1975-6 range. After a weekend of jamming with John Prine, John's like, I'm going down to Nashville to record an album. Come on, get on board and grab your Martin and let's go. And he's like, I wish I could, but got a young family. Which appreciate, Dad, in many ways.
Well, Ferg Burfel said, hold my beer on that one, because he's telling GTR 1952 that I introduced my wife to John Prine's music. She's still deep into that rabbit hole.
Nice.
So, yes.
Octopus Ear says, my dad's friend sold me a Carvin rack head and 412 cab for $350 for my first real amp. Nice.
Nice. That is just great.
Very nice.
And it's so nice that your sister joined us today.
It is nice.
It is very nice.
Mm-hmm.
Hello, Amanda Coombs.
Who will be going over to visit my father later today. And I think stopping by here as well.
Yeah, and we all want to send all the good vibes your dad's way.
Appreciate that.
So, just Father's Day is a little tough for me because we lost my father last year, and
that's so right.
I'm adopting yours.
Yes, you have adopted my father, and he's fine with that. He's got a lot of sons. He's gained a lot of sons over the last few years, especially doing the Father's Day show. And we do appreciate all the kind words and words. Oh,
sorry. That was awesome.
That was I don't know what that. I'm not sure. I don't know, Charles.
That is his number one, and it is an absolutely beautiful Stratocaster.
Yeah, it is.
But Seth, you did come back in with the same audio issues as the last time you came back in.
Fuck! You can't hear me at all?
It sounds like you're underwater on a record.
Actually, it sounds like you're running your voice through a tube screamer right now.
Thank you, Blackjack.
With a ring modulator.
Oh,
I'm getting hungry. I wonder why. Oh, lifestyle choices. That's why. Perfect.
So, anyone else with some dad gear stories in the chat? We need some new stories.
We're old. We have no.
Ben, I don't know if you're saying this, but you're getting all the good vibes here in the chat.
I do appreciate. I've been seeing that. Yes, I do appreciate that, folks. I really do. Excuse me. And again, I apologize, folks, if my voice is kind of blown out because I was yelling a bit last night. I went out to a live musical show for the first time in years. Years, Charles. Years.
It is time to start doing those things again.
Yeah.
And so Ryan Hall is offering Seth some help in the chat. He says, Seth, I have those electric shock-proof gloves.
I think I need some of them too.
Yes. And Amanda says she'll tell the dad later when she sees him today. So
yeah.
Excellent.
Appreciate that. Yeah, pass along all the kind words and vibes. The show was really, really good, Cushman. Opening was Willie Stratton out of Halifax, Nova Scotia. Really, really cool. Kind of a surf rock crooner type. Very, because he was kind of that Elvis-y crooner, but with surf rock, Charles. So I dug it. You know, it was like Elvis and Dick Dale, you know, together. Which I'm like, sure, that's okay. You know, a lot of guitar solos, which is just a clean Fender cranked up. I'm like, okay, yep, I'm down. Because Biggle sticks. So he had a Biggle stick telly. The other guy played an acoustic or I want to say thin line telly, or was it a telly custom? With humbucker based telly.
Yeah.
I tell you that bass player played a P bass.
That surf rock stuff, it does require quite a bit of coordination between the two hands, right?
Oh, yeah.
There's a lot more movement on that left hand than you think.
Yep.
And if that right hand isn't keeping up, it doesn't make any sense.
And a lot of it is still playing chords with slight add-ons and pull-offs. Very singer-songwriter type thing, generally folky almost.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was really good. And then Crash Test Dummies playing for the first time, I think, 30 years since they played this town. We're back with my good friend Stuart Cameron playing guitar for them. And so I wasn't able to meet up with Stuart, but he was nice enough to throw me on the guest list with a +1, which typical musician, Charles, find out, 2 hours before doors open. Oh, okay. So I said, hey, sis, you want to go to a concert? She's like, yes. I like Crash Test Dummies. I'm like, well, let's go. So we went. I actually had a pint.
What?
Before and during the show. Yes.
Yeah.
I had a tall boy of Coors Light.
Oh, well.
That's not really a pint.
That's not really beer.
Well, it's not.
Back into it. I was easing back into it. It was that or a Molson Canadian. And I'm like, or Heineken. Oof. So given the choice of the three.
Molson was my first beer ever.
Yeah, my condolences.
So in the chat, Octopus Ears is saying that his dad always encouraged him to play guitar. He used to let his friends come over to the house with a full drum kit and rock out. So
oh, yeah.
That is awesome.
My dad would not allow that. He's like, no, you guys play like shite. If you get good, you can practice here, But define good. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, Crash Test Dummies are really good. First of all, I forgot how many hits they had. And two, they're all really good.
Was this girl who went into an accident and couldn't go to school.
That was part of the encore. Actually, that might have been the last song of the night.
Well, that was like that. I remember that hit. It was the hit video on MTV.
Yep.
But they had heavier, cooler shit. That
was thinking. I don't remember them being heavy at all. But last night they got heavy a couple of times. Like they decided to do some dual guitar solo stuff, and all of a sudden, which was funny because I knew the gear, Charles, from doing the hang with Stuart, that he was playing Collings double cut with the single P90, the guitar that was built for Keith Richards, playing into an AC30 cranked up, and that thing, the tone, because he played Jaguar through it, thin line telly through it, he plugged this thing in. I'm like, there's the tone. There was a keytar sighting during the show. The keyboard player, I just can't. He was just way too into it. And he looked like the guy that would work at Radio Shack in 1983. I'm just saying. He kind of looked like Jeff Lynne's illegitimate love child. He had the glasses and the hair and the beard and a Hawaiian shirt. And I'm like, no, just no. And he played one-handed facing the rest of the band. I'm like, yeah. I'm like, no, stop.
Can you imagine when that dude brought that thing to practice for the first day and he was like, please, guys, I don't get a lot of moments. Just let me have my fucking moment, right? I don't get to play guitar like you guys. And they're like, Well,
we were...
Okay, Clark.
Okay, my sister must be multitasking. She's in the chat and she commented on a photo on InstaFace. I'm like, okay.
All over the place.
Yeah. I don't know how that's working. Anyways, well, I lost my train of thought. Oh yeah, let's see. Like, yeah, Crash Test Dummy is not known for being overly heavy, but man, there was elements, and because they're not known for being heavy, Stuart and I were kind of joking because he lives just an hour or so up the road from me. So a fellow was going to drop off some gear for rehearsals, and I thought, he's usually playing, like, say, Charles, thin line tellies, Jaguars.
Mm-hmm.
He's got the one single cut with the P90. So I was going to drop off the Kramer, the Wolfgang, and just say, here, just show up at rehearsal with those, just to see, for shits and giggles. Let's see what Brad, the leader of the band, would say. So,
you gotta love it.
Okay, yes, my sister says Jack Black and Travis Tritt meshed into one. Yeah. And thank you for a link to my show or channel there, Charles. Appreciate it.
Yeah, that's a link to your channel. I wasn't quick enough to pull up the actual show, but
that's okay. That's fine. Yes, feel free, go subscribe and then come back, folks. That's fine.
I don't know how you would have gotten here without being subscribed to Ben, but on the off chance you are, subscribe. And we also put the link there for Seth's channel down in the chat. We'd like to see him grow a little bit. He's got some pretty cool stuff up. He needs to put up more. It's just saying.
If you guys only knew, as soon as I get done with I have a house that's been being built for 2.5 years, right? Then they're finishing it off, putting the final things in. Once I can move into that house and not be homeless, then YouTube is actually very hard when you're homeless, believe it or not. It's, I have a place to live, but it's not like so that's why it's all janky. I come down here to my workshop and do this on my phone. And for some reason, the link keeps breaking. I keep going back and looking why it says broken link. I don't know why.
I don't know what that means. It sounds digital. I don't know. Thunder. Love it.
Okay, hold on a minute there, Sparky. Okay, let's hear the story now.
Well, I've got my dad that gave me my first guitar, my first electric. This is my stepdad's who, I was raised by two dads, one on the West Coast, one on the East Coast. My West Coast dad was super into music, great guitar player, and into electric. And, he passed away, unfortunately, a few years ago. And I inherited all of, not everything. We gave some stuff to friends and family, but this is his oldest American-made Fender. It's an E3, so like an 83-ish. Mm-hmm. They're not completely accurate on those, but it's a hardtail.
Nice.
Right? Yeah. But it's got a trim built in. It's built in with the springs in the front, like a front loader.
Like the original Elite series.
Well, it's got a bad output jack, but I refuse to take it out and put in a new one because
the original Elite series had that internal trim system. Which, if you look at that, folks, you're gonna want to be wearing a white lab coat before you start that thing. You gotta get it.
They called it the Dan Smith era because they put the output jack into the pick guard.
Yeah, that was.
So they're saving
that's never a good thing.
There.
No.
He put in the Pearly Gates pickups because he was all about like getting the Stevie Ray Vaughan tone.
Hello, Dennis.
I don't play it as much as I should. I kind of keep it under wraps. But it's probably one of my best sounding Strats. That's why I wanted to start doing hardtails mainly.
It is beautiful. It is absolutely beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
Sienna burst, they call it. I guess a Sienna burst because it's like this.
When I come and visit, don't trust me alone with it in the room. I'm just saying.
Come on out and play it, dude. It's just a guitar. It's just a guitar. Actually, like a dumbass. You can take my ugly ass off of full screen. Yesterday, like a dumbass, we were shopping and going around. I went to pick up the guitar at where the construction site is, which is where my mother-in-law lives, where the guitar is. and put it in the back of the CRV, and we're driving back home because my wife will not ride in the Geo. Will not ride in the Geo. Anyway, so we're driving back home. We're like, we're going to stop and get a tuna wrap and something for lunch. We pull in, and I didn't even lock the car. We got back to the car, and I was like, fuck, my dad's guitar was in the back of the car, not even locked up. Anyway, I'm an idiot. I didn't get stolen, thank God, or I would have not been on the show today. I would have been on the hunt to get my guitar back.
Yeah,
I get that. I made way too many stops this past week with a guitar in the van that I did not want to.
Yeah.
Like I stopped at the hospital to visit my dad, but I'm the whole time thinking, there's a guitar sitting in that van, and I don't like having a guitar sitting in the van. I just don't like it.
Dude,
because the lock only prevents honest people from opening doors. Yeah, that's the way I see it.
It's true.
All you need is a rock through the window, right?
Well, that's what they call San Francisco snow. Is actually, they call San Francisco snow. It's a real thing. It's the freaking all of the pieces of glass on the ground when a criminal has gone down the block and smashed 5 cars and stolen out of 5 cars. So it looks like it snowed. San Francisco snow.
Mm-hmm.
San Francisco is shutting down, dude. It's over. Sorry, they're closing it down.
And so in the chat, looks like Martin and Octopus Ears are having a conversation back and forth about oranges. and
apparently Trev woke up.
Or Martin, apparently.
Good morning, Trev.
Trev's here.
Well, hello there, Trev.
Dude, so thank you to everybody.
We have to tell all the stories over again?
Yep.
So Ben, tell us about your show tonight. What's going on tonight?
I have a Father's Day special tonight. I'm not going into details because it's all clickbait and teasing.
Ooh.
So
we just have to go to find out.
All I can say is I have a Father's Day special planned.
All right.
What that entails, you have to tune in to find out. But I do have a Father's Day special, which actually I'll mention to you off air, Charles, as well as I had something else to mention to you off air that I keep forgetting to contact you about. Business opportunity for you is what I'm saying.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And Janice Lala is saying in the chat, her music memory of her father is when she was in the car with him and the Beatles came on the radio and John Lennon was singing and her father said, "That's your voice."
Nice.
Oh, wow. That's beautiful.
That is something else.
And tomorrow night, Charles, I will be showing off a new guitar.
Oh, no, you won't.
It's the one I'm thinking about too, isn't it?
Probably is.
Yeah, bet you it is.
Operation complete. That's all I can say. Operation complete.
No.
Yeah. Excellent.
Dude.
Excellent.
Except for the details of, paying for it, but the way I see it, possession's 9/10 of the law. So
yeah, try getting it back now.
Go for it.
So I want to mention that coming up here in about 7 minutes is going to be Music Therapy Laz, and so if we could all go over and join in after we finish here, and Janice Lala is his co-host for that show. Nice. And so I appreciate her taking the time to step in because I know they're getting ready to run there. Mm-hmm. Matter of fact, I'm going to go ahead and I am dropping that link in the chat so that you can follow over there when we're done here. Nice. So Seth, it looks like you're dying to show something off here.
Well, it's hard to show the weight, the weight, because this guitar is only like 5 pounds. It's under 6 pounds, which is like, I'm so proud of it because it's the first one that I've done that was like actually under 6 pounds. It's because it's the Paulina body, and I didn't do a big brass block. I just did a regular block. Sorry. But it kept the weight down. Single for those of you that like an actual Strat to be a Strat.
That's me.
And super light. So I just got the neck back from Plek, and today it'll get its full setup, and tonight or tomorrow it'll be up on Reamer. So,
Nice.
go there. There's like 10 or 12 up there now for sale on reverb.com. And hit me up if you're from the show, the show, Ben, hit me up directly. My phone number is not hard to find. You can message me and we'll work you out a deal, on the side. Or I'll just give you a really great price on Reverb.
And thank you, Martin and Ryan. And no, Blackjack, it does not have a wiggle stick or a biggle stick.
Neither one of them.
Neither one.
You could put one of those monstrosities on it that you add on to the.
Although I was thinking, I don't know if I've ever seen one of those guitars with a biggle stick on it, and if so, I may want to look at, because they do make a surface mount one with the Vibratron adapter kit. Vibramate, that's it.
Mm-hmm.
So that is an option.
Yeah, those are.
I also realized last night that I need a telly with a bagel stick too. I'm pretty sure now I need one of those in my life because
it is a plan I have going forward.
Yeah, it does a thing. It sounded nice, and I was like, "Yep, tons of reverb." Swooning. Yeah.
I need to build a Vega. Now they're available. The Vega trim is now available for telly. I'm going to have to build one because the Vega trim for regular guitars, I've done a few of them and they're amazing.
Mm-hmm. The other thing, those Duesenberg trims are great for if you got a Tune-o-matic bridge and you want to add a wiggle stick.
Mm-hmm.
Just pull off the old tailpiece. You put that Doozy trim on there. I was looking at one of those for the Gretsch, actually.
Yeah,
the previous Gretsch, not even this Gretsch, the previous Gretsch that was sitting over there.
Yeah. Ben and his Gretsch just breaks my heart.
but I got a Marshall now. I got a Marshall. Yeah. And a fella needed a Marshall.
Yeah.
Just saying. All right. Apparently, everyone's saying just put a doozy trim on it. All right.
Yeah.
They are really, really good. They're really good.
Yeah. They are good. They do take some dialing in, though.
That's fine. Yeah, because I'm all about precision and dialing in, Charles. We know that. It'll be the video of me installing it, me trying to set it up, me ripping it off, me putting the original tailpiece on, all while cursing.
Well, see, I think that's why you're getting that in the chat. They're looking forward to this on your channel.
I think so.
This is a whole series, I'm telling you.
All right. We'll think about it.
It could be a screw safari or a pot safari, because Ben's usually looking for the part that's on the bench somewhere.
And Martin is right. A roller bridge doesn't hurt with a Duesenberg.
It's almost required,
yeah.
In fact.
Highly
recommended.
Like I said, lubricate everything.
Mm-hmm.
Dude.
Yeah.
Don't they make roller nuts too?
Yep. Yes.
You might want to go the whole roller route on that.
Right. No binding in this setup.
Well, I don't know. Could you do a locking nut with something like that? Would that work? I don't know enough to know.
No, because if you have a locking nut, then you have to have some way to tune it. Fine tune.
Yeah,
I don't understand. Who are the masochists that want non-fine tuning Floyd Rose bridges on anything? No, because you got to tune it, and then when you tighten the nut, you have to compensate before. Because if you tighten the locking nut down, it's going to make it sharp. So I'm going to have to tune it all flat and hope I tuned it the right amount of flat to compensate for my Gorilla Grip tuning down the nut.
Yeah, Lass. Thanks for popping in, especially with your show getting ready to start. And we are sending these folks over your way here in a minute.
Yep.
Dude, Ben, thank you so much for hanging out with us today, man. It's really fun. I can't wait to hang out tonight. I'm usually there. Sometimes I lurk because my wife requires attention, not supervision, attention.
Hey, thanks for having me, guys. This has been awesome.
No, he took the words right out of my mouth. We are super thrilled that you were able to join us, and always enjoy anything we get to do with you. So thank you.
I'm just happy to support. Hey, Crenard, the Albanian.
Crenard, hey buddy.
So yeah, okay, I enjoy what you kids are doing. Is what I'm saying. And then when you're like, "Hey, do you want to come on?" I'm like, "Well, I don't know. I don't know what I'm going to add to the quality of the show, but I can definitely subtract." So sure.
Definitely picked up the slack when my phone was going out every 10 minutes. So I appreciate that very much this week.
Well, the key was Charles said, talk as much as you want. I'm like, oh, I can do that.
I can do that. Right.
We front loaded you. All right, folks, with that, we are going to go ahead and end our stream for the day. Thank you so much for joining us. Go over and raid Music Therapy Laz. Him and Janice are going to love to have you. Ben, thank you again for being our guest today, and stay in the room here. We're going to go ahead and talk a little bit.
Okay, I'm not new. I know how this works.
I know.
Had to say it. Thanks again, everybody.